Hi everyone, I'm Jessie Leak, this is BJ Armstrong. We're standing at 752 Canyon Creek today. We're gonna go over a couple of things that are in this house. It's not done yet, it's actually for sale. I'm gonna act as a consumer. I'm gonna ask BJ a couple of questions in regards to what's going on in here and how everything's being done.
Hopefully it'll answer some questions that you guys have about new construction or houses otherwise, right?
Yeah. So first thing I wanna ask about is the floor. It's hardwood?
It is hardwood. So if you have seen hardwood floors in a lot of properties these days, in fact, everybody asks me, is this laminate? And the answer is no, it's not laminate. Laminate to me has this kind of plastic look to it, right? It's all synthetic generally. What we use most of today is what we call engineered, meaning that there's a plywood base and it's got a thin veneer of real hardwood over it. It's extremely durable. It's better in some sense than, right, we used to use the full 3/4 inch hardwood stuff that you could refinish forever and the old houses still have 100 years later. That would still be true. The problem is we can't get these wide widths and all kinds of other things in a real hardwood, so this makes it a whole lot more economical. It's a really cool product, so this is what we use most of the time.
He points to me because I live in an old house with old hardwood floors.
That have been refinished 1,000 times and they're trying to decide what do we do with them. And my answer is just put this over the top of them.
I want to ask about the fireplace. So there's nothing here. There's no stone, there's no firebox.
This is just a process-oriented thing right now. So all of this is selected right now. This is planned to be all stone with a nice wood mantle and all that you expect to see as a fireplace. In our process, we come in and we put our hardwood floors down first. I know that seems weird, but what that will do, that's really a fit and finish kind of thing. So we want the stone to really sit on top of the hardwood. That way it looks like a seamless transition. It's really hard to actually cut the hardwood up against those rough edge stones and everything.
Okay.
So it's just the process, just the way we do it.
And how much longer until this house is done?
We're generally, at this stage, we're about 30 days from being finished. Most of that has to do with when our products show up. So our process is really designed so that the selections happen. Cabinets, for example, right, can take 8 to 12 weeks to get from the manufacturer. So we have to have those ordered so far in advance. So a lot of we have our selection process so that those show up kind of a just on time kind of thing, right? We don't want them sitting on site and we don't want to be waiting for them. It doesn't always work perfectly. As in this house, we still have a week or so before the cabinets are in. So all of those things really, we can pin this now within about 30 days, right? Once we start putting trim inside, we're inside about 30 days, depending on where those products are.
So all this stone and this fireplace will be in within 30 days.
You know what's crazy? Most homeowners right now would walk through this. When we sign contracts, we sign a contract that says this is the date you're gonna be done, and we promise, we guarantee actually that you'll be finished on that date. And inevitably, you're gonna walk through your house when it's at this stage and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you have to be done by May 30th. There's no possible way you can get this done. And the reality is it takes like 2 days to put this stone on. It takes like a day to get the cabinet set. So things go really, really fast. And we run this process specifically to make sure that happens. So this is the point where you just have to trust your contractor that they know what they're doing. If you've hired the right one, that is.
I trust you.
I know you do.
There's something in the kitchen that's hanging out of the ceiling. Can you tell me what that is?
Yeah, so again, if you're walking through houses and you just can't figure out what stuff is, most everything is planned for something. All of these parts, this is a gas line, the range will actually sit right here. So we got a gas line hooked up for it. We have electricity gonna come out the wall. This will be our range hood. That special piece right there is actually where the exhaust will go up for the range hood, right? I love to exhaust our range hoods outside. I don't know if you probably don't burn stuff, but at my house sometimes stuff gets burned, and when it just recycles, you ever have one of those microwaves that just blows back in your face, right? Yeah, so we go outside.
Okay, master bathroom next.
Sure, let's take a look.
Okay.
Some of this stuff is really obvious, right? I mean, we have our floor down, it's not yet grouted. It's typical for us to do it like this. We'll leave it unfinished, ungrouted, right? For now, until the cabinets are set and that, whatever. Partly because grout has this way. If you live in a house for a year, you know that your grout gets dirty. Contractors are not particularly the cleanest people in the world, so we want to make sure that it's perfect when our folks move in. So we won't really do that until not last, but almost last.
And very quickly, can you tell me what those little orange pieces are?
Well, we have learned. We've learned that there are ways to make things perfect. My eyes are really, really good, actually, but they're not good enough to know that these are straight lines. So this is simply a spacer, right? When they set that tile, they put that in those corners, and then that way all the tiles are exactly the same distance apart, right?
Gotcha.
Everything's square. They're cheaters, right?
I'd rather that than an eyeball.
Trust me, right? Because I'm the guy that has to tear it out when you eyeball it, right?
Okay, so this is a huge
Huge
shower.
shower,
Yes. What can we do with this? What do they have right now
Okay.
is just one shower head?
Well, actually two, right? So there's two things. This would be your regular valve. There'd be a handle right here, turns water on and off. This is actually what they call a diverter, right? So there'll be a selector here that'll turn on this. This pipe actually will feed a hand shower. So there'll be a hand shower that hangs on the wall, right? And you can pull up. This diverter will turn a selection to just this, or to both. These diverters, they come in a whole bunch of different ways, right? So you could do, if you wanted to do a rain head, there'd be plenty of room to do it in here. These folks just didn't do it, just didn't want one. So, but that's kind of the way those pieces work.
Okay. And what if I wanted to add a bench? How is all of this working?
Oh, absolutely. So obviously this red kind of fiberglassy paper is part of a waterproofing membrane that we can lay tile over now. And then of course there's all kind of a waterproof drywall concrete-ish product underneath this, right? So again, that's what keeps it wet. There's some super cool stuff out now that not a lot different than your tile space, just keep things better than what they used to be. Once upon a time, we used to build these little benches out of wood and then cover them with tile, and you know what would happen about 15 or 20 years later, right? Remodeler would go in and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is so horrible. This kind of stuff is really cool because now this is all made out of metal, right? This is the kind of stuff, it doesn't rot, it doesn't mold, it doesn't get old, right? It'll last forever. They'll actually fill this with concrete or a concrete kind of product and then lay their tile over it. So if water ever does get behind it, it doesn't matter, it's not gonna hurt anything. These come in 1,000 different shapes, right? So we could do a bench all the way across, we could do all kinds of crazy stuff. Just matters of what the homeowner wants and how much fun we can have with it, right? These are some other cheats. This is a niche, right? But for a soap holder or whatever else, what we'll do with this, we'll actually cut a hole in that and implant that right into the wall, so you get a spot for your soap in the room. But again, you see that we're taking all the guesswork out of this. This is all made out of styrofoam, so once again, if it ever gets wet, it doesn't matter, right? What's gonna happen in this house 20 years from now, a remodeler is gonna come in here, not because it's falling apart, but because they just don't like the colors anymore, right? So it'll be interesting to see how this comes out in 20 years.
So really everything that's in here, all these cheats, it's to help us, it's to help the homeowner.
Yeah, you know, it's a couple of things. Let's call it quality control. I mean, how do I know that we can deliver a perfect floor or one that lays out that your eye's not looking at wild seams and stuff? It's by using those kind of tools. Making sure that your shower is waterproof is a big deal. Honestly, this stuff didn't exist even 10 years ago. So the way things are built makes it faster, it makes it better, it actually makes it less expensive, ironically, too. So,
I mean, how can you not like the less expensive part?
I like it. And honestly, once you see the tile in here, I mean, we're probably 2 weeks from having all the tile built in here. It's fantastic, right? I mean, there's so many options that we do now with ceramics and that to make it really look cool. It'll be good.
Thank you. So the point of this was to kind of give you guys an idea of how we do things when we're building a home and let you have an inside look. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Our number is 309-275-2521. And as we mentioned, this house is for sale. So bring your questions. If you want to walk through, we're more than happy to walk you through. Email is bjarmstrong@bjarmstrong.com.